If I can't play Expressive Iteration in my own deck, then I'm not playing Commander, okay? Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we have a good one. We have a real good one. Today we have a new deck. It is Blue-Red Delver or Blue-Red Aggro. Play a flyer, bounce and burn everything, and swing in with Delvers for the lethal. That's what we're playing today. Except what? Delver in Commander? What is this? What is this? Yes, that's what we're building today. So for our commanders, we got partners. It is blue-red. We gotta stay true to the colors. It is blue-red, Kraum, Jeska. There you go. That's our Delver. Instead of having a 1-mana 1/1 that flips into a 3/2, we got a 5-mana 4/4 that's always flipped and always draws us cards. And then, you know how like a flip Delver just hits a couple times and like kills your opponent? Here, we just do it twice. You play Jeska, triple the damage from Kraum, swing in, deal 12 damage. 2 turns, take out 1 player. Imagine playing combos when you can kill someone in 2 turns. Now you might be wondering, hey, why don't you just play Ishai? You could go play that if you want, but that isn't this channel. This channel we're playing Kraum. Kraum draws us cards. Now for how the deck plays, today we're trying to make it like a tempo deck. Now I'm not gonna explain what a tempo deck is. We just don't have like an hour. You know, I think you would lose interest. But if you're interested in the idea of tempo in Commander, we have this great video from a while ago. Comes up in either of these corners. Zach Allen does a great job explaining what tempo is, and then Organic Rebel, much inferior Magic player, explains what they think tempo is in Commander. So check it out if you haven't seen it. But today, just to talk a little bit about how this deck should be playing. The idea is that we resolve our Kraum, draw a bunch of cards, interact, and then swing in for lethal. And also we'll be playing cards that attack our opponent's tempo. So kind of like stacks, and just making it more difficult for them to go off while we have our Kraum and Jeska in play. Jeska controls all the creatures, Kraum draws us more fuel to interact, and also is our win con, sort of, with the tripling of damage. That's a deck. That's how we expect it to work. So let's go take a look at the deck list. Here's the deck list. We're going to go through each category and talk about some of the interesting cards and why they're here and how they contribute to the overall game plan. Like usual, this has no combos, you know, comboless control deck. If you want to make it better, you could probably just play like Underworld Breach in this and like, I don't know, muddle the mixture and make it a Breach deck. Play like a Thoracle, I don't know. There's like combos, Dual Caster, Twin Flame, tons of things you can do here. But today we're focusing on trying to make Kraum our Delver and winning with Delver. Winning with Delver beats. Kraum is like a Delver. Alright, let's start looking at the deck. First, starting off with creatures, we have Archmage Emeritus. This is a great value engine. This is a great way for us to keep fueled up as we interact so that we don't run out of cards, because that's what will happen if we interact too much. We'll just run out of fuel trying to control everyone. Brazen Borrower is a really nice card. I really like Brazen Borrower. This is one of the cards that I've been playing a lot in Explorer. This is great because it bounces any type of permanent as long as it's not a land, and also you can play as a 3/1, which is very, very relevant if we're trying to connect for some damage. With Jeska, this is 9 damage on a flash, like 3/1 flyer. So I think that's pretty strong, actually. Dockside Extortionist, we know why this is here. It's just a good card. And then DRC is a flyer. It can connect. When we play our non-creature spells, it helps us dig through the top of our deck, throw away the things we don't need, and ideally smooth out our draws a bit better. So, very good card. Much better with Breach, though. Gilded Drake is a good tool to steal commanders. Hullbreaker Horror. Now this is a good tempo piece. You slam this Kraken in with flash, can't be countered, and whenever you cast a spell, you can bounce a spell or bounce a non-land permanent. So once you have this resolved in play, and you can take a turn untapped with all your interaction, it's going to be very hard to beat you, because now all your interaction, not only is it just countering a thing, but also can bounce a thing or put a spell back on the stack. So, or you know, put a spell back in their hand. So I think this is very powerful. It's kind of like stickiness, sort of. the idea of stickiness. If you haven't seen my stickiness Commander School video, you should check it out. But instead of being sticky, this is just more making sure that your interactions is doing double the work. So yeah, increasing the value of your interaction. Ledger Shredder is a great card, super fun card. Love this card in kind of like any blue-red or like just any deck, really. Ledger Shredder is great. Ledger Shredder is really good because whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, it connives, so it gets bigger. It also helps you, filter out your cards. And I think what's really valuable about Ledger Shredder, I mean, when you can play 4 copies or more than one, is that it really, really helps you dig into the right answers you need, which makes it like very, very powerful. Because you generally can find the thing you need to like kind of win the game with. If you have multiple shredders, you just draw your lands, dump the lands, or make it big enough where it's hard to connect. So another flyer that we can triple up with damage, but also just like another great card to play with in our colors. Malevolent Hermit, this is our pseudo silence. So you play this old guy, you to like spell pierce or whatever someone, and you disturb him, and he comes back, and non-creature spells you control can't be countered, in a 2/2 flyer. Actually, in general, for non-creature spells, our stuff isn't as important to like be uncounterable. It's not like we're playing combos, but it's still just good to make sure all your interactions uncounterable or whatever. It's kind of handy. Murktide Regent. Now you're wondering, why are we playing Murktide? We can't play a blue-red Delver list or Murktide list without Murktide himself, right? So Murktide is just here as a beater. That's it. We delve away all the interaction. It's a big flying beater. Then we triple the damage connect. Like it's a 7/7, deal 21 damage. Like that'll take out a Nas player, So I just like it. I think it's fun. And that's a good enough reason for me to play things in my deck. Flamage is good. Flamage copies things. Oh, whoops. I just mistook Dockside Extortionist for Ragavan. Well, we both know why these cards are here. Professional Facebreaker is great because, when we connect, we make treasures, and then we can sacrifice treasures to exile top card to, like, play them for free. So, not play them for free, but be able to cast them. So we can, like, dig deeper, just make more mana. Because we have a flying Kraum that we're trying to, like, turbo out, we should be able to, like, make more mana reliably and cast things. One thing I realized when we're playing low color decks like this is our amount of mana rocks is lower than like 4 color or 3 color, so mana becomes like a really big issue, and cards like Professional Facebreaker helps us fix some of that. When you're in 4 color, it doesn't matter, you just slam out all your rocks and then like slam out ad nauseum, but here like the constraint of mana is actually very real. So Professional Facebreaker. Here's Ragavan. We know what Ragavan does. That's it. That's a review. Okay, sorceries. Expressive Iteration. Probably not good in competitive Commander, but hey, we're playing Blue Red Delver, and if I can't play Expressive Iteration in my own deck, then I'm not playing Commander. Okay, I can't play in Pioneer or Explorer right now. I can only play in Modern and other formats, so I want it here too. It's just a great card. You play it. When you have a land drop to make, you exile a land, you play the land, you put a thing in your hand. It's just a good card. Just a good card. Probably not good here, but I like it. There's a Git Probe. We know what Git Probe does. Strike It Rich. You might be wondering why Strike It Rich is here. It's just here to set up more mana for us to get a fast Kraum. So Strike It Rich. We have 2 wheel effects. We have a Wheel of Fortune and a Windfall. This is kind of dangerous given that we don't really leverage the wheels very well, since we are not turboing out a win, but I think is sometimes like your hand just kind of needs the wheel, and if you have enough mana left over to potentially interact and your opponent's call interact, like I have played games where there are turbo players and you wheel and the turbo players don't win because there's actually enough mana left over from everyone else that we interact, like the first person trying to go for it just like usually can't win. So I don't know, like read the timing right and then like wheel, and you've got a Kraum. They'll be playing 2 spells, feeding you more draws. As long as you have more mana, you'll be fine. Alright, gonna go through this quickly. For our instance, here's our suite of interaction. It's pretty standard, except some of like the spice is a Delayed Blast Fireball. This is great. So I played with Surreal in Command Fest Philly, and they played this in their Rurik Thar deck, and man, this was such a blowout every single time. It's 3 mana to like deal 2 damage to each opponent, each creature they control, but if it was cast from exile, it deals 5 to each opponent, each creature they control, and you can foretell it. So foretell, if you don't know what it is just you pay 2 to exile it face down, and you pay 6 at instant speed later to just like wipe everything for 5. Very few things are gonna survive 5 damage wipe, so I think it's useful. Even though we have like a Jeska to like control all the creatures, I've just seen delayed fireball be very, very strong. Like just 3 mana instant pyro and also deal 2 damage to each player is quite strong, so I like it. Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time is a good card if we don't know, but Dig Through Time's also here because I want an extra delve effect just in case you get that Murktide and then like you want to grow it instant speed bigger. You use an instant speed Dig Through Time, delve all that spells away, which will trigger Murktide. I never explained what Murktide does. Okay, Murktide is like a 7 mana dragon with delve, or Dargon, sorry, gotta stay on brand, where Murktide enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter for each instant or sorcery card exiled with it. And then whenever an instant or sorcery card leaves the graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Murktide region. So you cast it, delve X instant or sorceries, and it enters the battlefield with that many +1/+1 counters. So you could like delve it to as an 8/8, you know, -5 over here. Then later delve more stuff through Dig Through Time and grow that Murktide instant speed. So that's why Dig Through Time's here. Dig Through Time's a good card, but it also is like a boost. Fierce Guardianship, okay, all this stuff is pretty standard. We got Mind Break Trap, we have Misdirection, Mystical Tutor, Pact of Negation, Pyroblast, Red Blast, Resculpt is useful just because we are, I don't know, in Izzet, so just being able to hit artifacts or creatures is useful. Let's see, Snapback is kind of new, or like not that common, but it's another free like creature bounce. Spell Snare is really good. I like Spell Snare because you can counter a lot of really relevant 2-drops with this, like Dockside or like Thassa's Oracle, Underworld Reach, ton of stuff. So just another good interaction here. Stub Denial is one of my favorite cards. Stub is good because it's a force spike, but then if you control a creature power 4 or greater, counter a spell. Oh wait. Whoa, Kraum is 4 power. Look at that. It's a 1 mana just counter something. So you know, it's just as strong if you have a Kraum out. So there's also a Thought Scour here. I don't know, I just like it. So there you go, that's my competitive reasoning. Our mana rocks, pretty standard stuff. We are playing a mana vault, and I think we should be on Grey Monolith too, actually. Stuff like that is just to help us play a faster Kraum. And that's it. Like Jewel Lotus, obviously, and other things like that. It's just here for us to turbo our Kraum so that we can start drawing cards and dealing damage. Now we get to the spicy part. So over here we have our enchantments, and the first one's Back to Basics. So Back to Basics is here because this is a good way to attack our opponent's tempo, right? Not letting their non-basics untap. Once you slam this down and it resolves, it's gonna be pretty hard for like a high color deck who didn't resolve a lot of their artifacts to like get forward. And then if you fetch like, you know, well into more basics, you're fine. So we were playing basics, so yeah, it's a pretty good card to attack tempo. Just denying them mana and then having us draw more cards and interacting, stuff like that is just like pretty good. Blood Moon is here. Blood Moon is generally not a very good card in max power commander, just because Dockside Extortionist exists and all the really good red cards, and like our win con is red, so like Underworld Reach, so Blood Moon doesn't really do much, but Blood Moon does do a little bit though, because if you can only make red and you don't have Dockside, I know, sometimes you just don't magically have Dockside every game, right? Even though you mull for it. Like, let's say you even have Dockside, just denying your opponent's colored mana might make it really hard for them to interact, depending on how they use their treasures. So just like combining these kind of effects is just good. I think it just makes it harder for your opponents to like do things while you draw more cards and have Jeska. Counterbalance, we know why we love counterbalance. Counterbalance just keeps our spells sticky, keeps our interaction sticky, but also just makes it harder, one layer harder for our opponent to win through stuff. So this is a good card. Guild Artisan is something I'm trying out over here. So this is just another way for us to generate more treasures when we go into combat. It says commander creatures you own have whenever this creature attacks a player. If no opponent has more life than that player, you create 2 treasure tokens. So I believe if no opponent has more life, I think it's you don't go for the lowest life person. I can never understand that reading, but basically you hit one person, whatever the clause is, and you make 2 treasures, and that's just useful. We know why these cards are here. Shark Typhoon, yeah, Shark Typhoon. You can't play like, I don't know, blue-red without Shark Typhoon, right? We know why Shark Typhoon's good, but if you don't play 60 card, then you might not. I don't know. Shark Typhoon is a 6-mana enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you make an XX blue shark token. With flying, where X is the spell's CMC. With cycle, so the cycle part's really powerful because it's just hard to interact with and gives you like a really big flyer later in the game. And that's important because you could technically end step cycle like I don't know, a 5/5 Shark Typhoon, like shark token, draw a card, then activate Jeska and deal 15. Pretty good, right? Next card is Tavern Brawler. So this one is another background like Guild Artisan, where commanded creatures you own have at the beginning of your upkeep exile a top card. That creature gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. You may play that card this turn. So this is here because we want to not only be able to play our spells like an extra spell, but also it grows our Kraum. So once we grow our Kraum, let's say we make Kraum a 7 power thing, that's lethal damage. That's instant kill with a Jeska. So I think that's pretty good. We got 28 lands here. I don't think there's anything like super duper useful to call out in these lands. We just got some basics. We have 3 islands, 1 mountain. You can make them snow covered. You can make them whatever covered as long as they're basic. Cool. All right, so that's kind of like the deck overall. Some other cards I might consider is like Talran. I really like Talran. Basically, we play each instant and stuff like that. We get a 2/2 Drake, so we're flying. I think that's pretty good, just to like kind of leverage our spells. Yeah. So that's the deck. Let's play a hand or two and see how it plays out. All right, now we're in the tester. Let's go take a look at what this deck can do, and hopefully we don't get 2 bad hands. Here's the first 7. It's a little slow. I mean, we're trying to turbo out our Kraum here, so let's go to a second 7. If only we had 1 more land, this might be like, 6. Oh. This is not bad, sort of. We get an island, and then slam a turn 2, potentially a turn 2 back to basics. We also have Brainstorm. I think it's quite good actually, so I'm gonna bottom the Misdirection. Yeah, Misdirection is probably the worst interaction here. It's either the Spell Snare or the Misdirection. The Misdirection doesn't really hit as much stuff, like unless if no one's ever gonna let you swat a PETA to yourself. So I don't know. I think Spell Snare is fine here. I don't really want to eat more cards from my hand to do stuff, so let's do that. Draw. That's a Chromox. Okay. All right. Hold up. The whole game just changed. Because we do this one, right? Turn 1 back to basics is such a mofo. Boop. I don't want to eat all the cards in my hand though. That's the problem. I think turn 1 back to basics is actually not that good because they'll fetch. Like knowingly fetch for that. So I think what we will do here is find an island, and people will be like, why aren't you finding your duel? And you'll be like, oh man, I am dumb. And then you crack this and play a Fillmore Stone. Yeah. Then, then we're donezo. Shuffle. Then end step, if we're alive, 1, 2, 3. Not bad. Put the Thought Scour here, and then I kind of want the Thought Scour because I don't really want the cards on my hands. I'll put this one over here. So it doesn't really matter because we're gonna draw this. We'll eat this, crunch this. Now here's the weird part, because now we have a Rhystic Study. So I think we actually play the Rhystic Study here. There's no reason why we... I don't know. It's kind of hard. I think back to basics might be good here. Back to basics might be good because we limit their mana. We have 3 mana. Then it'll be harder for them to pay our Ristic Study. So let's pretend that we do that. Tap, draw. Oh, that's a Dockside. Alright, let's say Dockside makes 2. Wait, how did that become a Dockside? Did I accidentally? Whatever. That cheated. Who cares? That's what the pros are teaching me. Just kidding. Calm down. I guess if I can make a red and make like something like 2 treasures here or 3 treasures, that's a waste. We'll just play our Ristic Study and then like draw 2 cards. And play this. Play a Dockside. Make like 3 treasures. Spend all 3. Play a wheel. Dump all this stuff. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like. This deck's a little harder to show off because it's so reactive, so you kind of have to see like what people are doing. But it's kind of cool. We can snap back if we want, find a duel, replay the Dockside, get 4 treasures, play Archmage Emeritus. We could also just chill, maybe draw like a card or 2 off the thingy, and then draw. Oh, it's a Holbrook Horror, hell yeah. Mox Diamond, dump this thingy, play this, crack it, find a mountain, so we don't get messed up by our own back to basics. We find an Island. I don't know, I think we're just in like a good spot. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if we have leftover treasures, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we could just play Archmage Emeritus and just start to draw. I kind of want to play the horror soon. I don't know, it's kind of hard. We have kind of a flushed hand right now, so I think it's just maybe is honestly just Kraum beat and then draw. Let's pretend no one. Oh, we got Express Iteration. Definitely cast this first, even though it's probably the wrong thing to do. Hand, boom, boom. Look at that. We got our land drop. So good from exile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll just play a Jeska and then triple the damage. Boom. It's hard to like say how well this deck is doing. I mean, if we got to live this long, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be fine. I don't believe it though, even though we have like this type of interaction. So that's the deck. I hope this was kind of interesting. I've just been playing a lot of blue-red decks and blue-red Delver, especially on Explorer. Not doing so hot though, because Explorer is kind of a broken format. I don't know what to tell you. Everyone's just doing really cheaty stuff, and I'm just like, here's a 3-2 on turn 2 or 3, maybe, while everyone has Fatal Push. Sorry, this is not the platform for me to vent about Explorer and how bad Delver is. Hope you like the deck or found it interesting. I think it's actually pretty fun. I really like Jeska and Kraum together. Kraum draws cards, Jeska removes things or trips or damage, and there's a lot of really fun little tools in there. If you want to like change it up a little bit, I think it'd be cool to add a couple more planeswalkers from blue-red decks from 60 card, like Jace the Mind Sculptor or like Chandra Torture Defiance. Like get some of that stuff from the sideboard, you know, play Unlicensed Hearth, exile stuff, and then make it really big and then triple the damage and then like run them over. New Capenna style. If you kill someone though with a Murktide Regent, triple damaged, you tweet me, like instantly, like go tweet me and I will make you something. Facts. Just take a photo and be like, I did it. I Murktided someone in competitive Commander, and I will give you like a private altar sleeve or something. I don't know. Do it. You know you want to. You got it. Do it.